Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start recording. It looks like we have a couple students here. We'll give it a couple more minutes just in case a couple more students decide to trickle in. And just Ella and Samson, for your information, usually I start this with just a brief set of announcements from Repairing Schools, anything that I think the students might be interested to know about. It usually takes me less than 5 minutes to go through those things, and then we can hand it over to you all, and we can make this as formal as you want. I can enable screen sharing if you have slides that you want to share, or we can keep this as an informal discussion. But we'll take it from there. Usually, the first half of it is, presenting, and then after that, we usually open it up for Q&A, and we are usually here for anywhere between 45 and 60 minutes, just depending on the topic and how many questions the students have. But I think this is going to be a great discussion. I know I'm going to have lots of questions, so because I'm excited to try and get a student chapter started here at James Madison University. So it'll be
Yay.
great.
That all sounds great.
All right, like I said, we'll give it a couple more minutes for students to trickle in. And then at 2 or 3 minutes past the hour, I don't want to waste anybody's time. I'll go ahead and get started. And Ella, the other thing that came up recently in one of the discussions that I was having with folks was this idea of international trips for college students.
Oh.
And I know I still haven't followed up with the gentleman that we talked to about that. I know I have his card somewhere, but he was super excited about it. But the more that I talk to people, one of the things that would be great experience for college students to have before they leave their program is hands-on installation opportunities. And yeah, I'm sure we could do that in the States, but how fun would it be to bring them over to like Kenya or somewhere and have them building small solar facilities for folks that need access to electricity? And how cool would that be?
I totally agree. Oh, that'd be amazing. Yeah, I
So
definitely need to talk to you about that more.
we just have to find the right funding mechanism for something like that. I think, universities naturally have these study abroad programs, so maybe it's partnering with a university and just kind of piloting it with one university and then seeing how we would do that with multiple. I have an opportunity to bring a bunch of college students to Iceland in 2027.
Cool.
It's more of like a science-based trip. Um, and I don't know that there would be like a service project or anything, because it's already like predetermined itinerary and everything.
Mhm.
But that could be fun to kind of just start that process of like what it looks like to bring college students on an international trip and then figure out how we program our own.
I love it. Yeah, that sounds great.
Awesome. Hi, Melissa. It's good to see you.
Hi, Remy. How are you?
Oh my gosh. Busy, but good. How about you? You made it back from
Absolutely.
Las Vegas, so.
Yes. No, no. Oh my goodness. I am so just grateful in general for Las Vegas. Like everybody, I'm gonna be going back to school soon, and currently I'm like at my internship, and they're asking me like, oh, like what was Las Vegas like? Like how was it? Where'd you go? And so yeah, so it's been a really great experience so far. Just reflecting on Las Vegas and all the opportunities that like we learned about and such.
Awesome. Well, that is a great segue. It's a couple minutes past, and we may see some more students trickle in, but I don't want to waste our time here. So first of all, thank you for being here for our first webinar of the academic school year webinar series. These webinars are meant to introduce you all to different career pathways, but also introduce you to other opportunities as college students that may help you get extra experience and leadership opportunities as you go through your programs. First thing, I just wanted to kind of share with you some fun things from our recent conference experience that Melissa was just referring to. Last week, actually, we took 11 students to Las Vegas for REpS, which is one of the largest trade show conferences at over 40,000 people in Las Vegas. It was kind of crazy. We had a booth, and then we also set these students up with an orientation so that they could learn some networking skills. And they got to go to some opening events, and then we set them up with industry meet and greets, where they got a half hour of alone time with industry folks, where on that exhibit floor, alone time is like unheard of. So it's a really valuable opportunity for them to have a really good in-depth conversation with someone in the industry. And so we were able to do that with folks from Soul Systems, AES, Orsted, oh my gosh, I'm missing somebody. EDP Renewables and Ambient Fuels. And then we also had a series of young professional events where they get to mix with other young professionals who were attending the conference. And then we had a panel discussion and some open networking time. And overall, it was just a really fantastic opportunity and experience. And Melissa can speak to her experience, but these were amazing students, and I had such a pleasure of just hanging out with them. But you know, students that are super excited and engaged to even do more. So Repairing Schools is going to start thinking about what it looks like to have a Repairing Schools Ambassadors program, which is an opportunity for students to actually be part of the organization and help us to formulate what kinds of things this organization should be doing to help college students. We also got a lot of great job and internship information that we hope to be sharing with the students that were at the event. So as you come to events like conference experiences, you kind of get this like exclusive network where you get to hear about jobs and internships. And then we also had a lot of people wanting to donate solar panels. And I mentioned that mainly because if something comes to this, you guys may be seeing an announcement from me in the coming months that we have solar panels to give away for you guys to do some cool research and projects around at your schools. So be thinking about what you could do with that, and maybe send me ideas of what you think would be a fun thing to ask students to do with solar panels. Also wanted to remind everybody that that is our last event for the year, but 2026 is going to be another busy year of events. Looking forward to February. We have both the IPF Offshore Conference in New York City, and we have the Distributed Wind Conference in Arlington, Virginia. And that is also our Wind Energy Student Symposium. So like we did at ACES with the poster session and the industry panels and things like that, we do the same thing in Arlington, but we do it mainly around wind, although we do bring in it's mainly a distributed conference, so other distributed sources like solar and energy storage come into the picture as well. And then, of course, we hope to be back at REpS and ACES next year, so keep an eye out for those things. As always, our webinars are recorded, so if you know of someone who wanted to be here but couldn't be here, please feel free to share the link to the webinar recording. You can go to our YouTube channel. We have lots of great stuff on there from past webinars and other resources, and we hope that you will go and subscribe so that you can get access to all of those great webinars. And that's it from Repairing Schools. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our wonderful folks from the American Solar Energy Society, and we're going to talk about how we can start a chapter at your school. So hopefully you came with lots of exciting questions and ideas, and I'm going to turn it over to Ella and Samson. Did you guys have slides you want to share?
Yes, I do have slides.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. And thank you, Remy, for the opportunity to speak with you all. I'm Ella. I am the programs director at the American Solar Energy Society. I have about a 10-15-minute presentation of just overall what ACES is, and then we'll do a deeper dive on how to start a student chapter. But wanted to introduce one of our amazing board members and student chapter liaison, Samson Howe. Samson, do you want to do a quick intro of yourself?
Yeah, my name is Samson. I've been pretty involved in ACES for a few years now. I am a young professional in the industry, currently being as a project developer working for Recurrent Energy. We're a big IPP under Canadian Solar, building utility scale solar and battery storage. So very glad to hear that you guys got to meet with a few IPP at RE Plus. You know, we're very familiar with the EDF, EDP, Orsted kinds of the world. And yeah, just excited that you guys are really doing some hands-on stuff.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Samson. So yeah, I will go ahead and share my screen in just a second. I will speak for, 10 to 15 minutes. Samson, please feel free to interrupt me and add anything you'd like. And for anyone that has any questions, either feel free to shout it out within the presentation, or of course, we're happy to do more of a Q&A afterwards. So without further ado, let me know if you can't see my screen. But yeah, so here I will talk about, we will go through basically what the American Solar Energy Society is, its history and impact, do a brief dive into ACES membership and our community, our technical divisions chapters, our program highlights, and then we'll talk about the ACES student chapter benefits and how you can get involved and hopefully start a chapter at your school. So the American Solar Energy Society is a 501c3 nonprofit. We're founded in 1954, which was the same year that Bell Labs patented its first silicon solar cell. So that was a big breakthrough that sparked the modern solar industry. So we just celebrated our 70th anniversary last year in 2024. We were established by visionaries who imagined a brighter path forward after the challenges of the post-war decades. And mainly the American Solar Energy Society consists of educators, advocates, and community builders, empowering individuals, scientists, government folks, decision makers, etc., to accelerate a just transformation to 100% renewable energy. You can see here that we have over 53 annual conferences starting, 53 years ago. We're on our 37th year of our Solar Today magazine. We have over 17 volumes of advances in solar energy and 30 plus years of the National Solar Tour, which I'll explain more in a couple slides. Next. So ACES state chapters. So basically, with the American Solar Energy Society, we have three main programs, and that's our National Solar Conference, our National Solar Tour, and our Solar Today magazine. And then we have two kind of subsets of ACES, and that's our incredible ACES chapters. And we also have student chapters, which we'll get into. And then we also have our technical divisions. And so for ACES chapters, both for state chapters and student chapters, they're kind of their own organization, and they work towards on more of a local scale of helping advance renewable energy and getting to 100% solar and renewables. And basically, what I'll say is, since we're the American Solar Energy Society, we have a parent organization called the International Solar Energy Society, and that's based in Germany. So that's International Solar Energy Society, ACES, and then we have our chapters. So we have like the New York Solar Energy Society, the New Mexico Solar Energy Society, etc. You can see all the little dots and pins of where everyone is. Again, we'll talk a bit more about that in a couple slides. And then these are our ACES technical divisions. They are the ones that are mainly, they're the big experts with everything that we do. They're the ones that ensure that our conference speakers and abstracts are technically accurate and accessible for everyone to understand, and also have our Solar Today articles make sense and accurate, double check all the facts, etc. So they're a really great group of a group of folks that volunteer to help ensure all of our educational resources are unbiased, accurate, and open to the public. As part of ACES membership benefits, we have this thing called the online community. It's basically like a Facebook/LinkedIn group, but on a different platform. I encourage you all to check it out. It is public for you to view it, but you have to be a member to actually post and comment, etc. But we have a couple different forums. It's the Everything Solar Forum and the Ask a Renewable Energy Expert Forum, ACES introductions, and then our ACES technical division forum. So if you're a part of the ACES technical division, like the policy division, for example, you can specifically post on that forum and talk about updates or questions around policy and solar. I would say with ACES, I feel like we are kind of the convener and the connector of the renewable energy industry. And so we really wanted to make people feel comfortable and welcome to ask any sort of questions. There's people always posting like, hey, I'm interested in this job. Does anyone have any connections? Or, my solar is acting funny, or my app of some sort, like, can you please help me out? And people are commenting and helping each other out. And that's what I really appreciate how ACES is very community oriented, and everyone's so nice, so able to help out and spread everything that they can do to help. Moving on, so some ACES program highlights. As I mentioned, we have 3 major programs. That is our conference, solar tour, and our magazine. These are some photos mainly from the solar tour and our conference in previous years. Yeah, it's so great to see people finally in person. A lot of the times, I mean, I'm headquartered in the American Solar Energy Society is headquartered in Boulder, and I'm also based in Boulder. But with our conference, we get to spread around. And as you can see here, this is at the Capitol in DC last year at our conference, and this is in Boulder just last month. So yeah, it's really great to see all of our ACES members who are very scattered across the US and also some internationally as well. These is just some photos from last month's conference. We do a conference every year. Yeah, last month was our 54th annual solar conference, Solar 2025. We had an awards banquet. We had our first ever career fair. I do see some folks online that have familiar faces. I see Amer and Taruku. Thank you so much for joining and for being at Solar 2025 last month in Boulder. We have a climate ride. We did a solar village where it's at the top right, where we had a lot of different vendors come and showcase their technology or their resources and education, etc. So yeah, we try to do our conference every other year in Boulder just because we're headquartered here and have a lot of great context. But then we also try to, on the off years, connect with one of our state chapters. So you'll see for next year, we'll be hosting Solar 2026 on October 19th through 21st in Austin, Texas. The reason being is because one of our state chapters, the Texas Solar Energy Society, is celebrating their 50th anniversary. So we're excited to celebrate with them, and we'll be collaborating with them on planning of the conference.
And we'll be there
There are a
with
lot of different
Student
opportunities to
Symposium
get. Oh, yeah. Oh, question?
I was just saying we'll be there again with the Solar Student Symposium again.
Yay! Yes. Yeah, definitely excited about that. We'll open up scholarships for folks to join for free and get hopefully either discounted or free hotel accommodations to join us in Austin, Texas. And there'll be speaking opportunities, poster presenter opportunities, etc. So that won't come out for another couple months, but keep an eye out at aces.org/conference. Yeah, we're just starting the planning for that. And if anyone's interested in even volunteering with the planning side of things, please let me know. We meet weekly, probably starting in January, but we're doing bi-weekly from now until January, to discuss everything that goes into the conference. So if you are interested in participating in just about an hour bi-weekly and then an hour each week starting in January, let me know. It's super rewarding. It's a really great group of folks, and always need all the help we can get in terms of planning for the conference. And it's really great just to get, especially students and a young person perspective. Like for example, we just had our first ever career fair last year, and hopefully we'll do it again in Austin next year. And so, yeah, definitely helpful to get students' perspectives on that. Up next is our second major program that's called our National Solar Tour. Our showcase weekend for our 30th anniversary will be coming up in just 2 weeks. It's October 3rd through the 5th. Basically, it is the largest annual grassroots solar event that includes, photovoltaics, passive solar, wind, electric vehicles, sustainable living, and energy first strategies. Tours are hosted by homeowners, businesses, schools, religious institutions, and it's a completely free platform, and ACES helps support, promote, and share resources to tour organizers. Folks can do it either virtually, which really just consists of photos or a video of your tour, or of course, a lot of different in-person tours, like we do the Jack Solar Garden tour, which some folks that have joined, that came to the conference last month, it was an agrivoltaic farm that we roamed around and had a tour guide and told us everything there is to know about their farm and agrivoltaic community, solar, etc. Um, and yeah, although the showcase weekend is just October 3rd through 5th, there are tours taking place all throughout the year. So if you just go to map.nationalsolartour.org, you can check it out and see if there's a tour near you and your community. I do have I'm wondering if I want to do it now, but I have two good student chapter tour videos that I can share in the chat. And they're really impressive. And yeah, I'll put it in the chat shortly. And it just showcases two different like student chapters and what they're doing at their school locally. Um, this is just mainly showing how much of an impact the National Solar Tour has been over the last 30 years. Basically, when it started and how it's been happening the last 30 years is that folks are more likely to go solar if their neighbors go solar rather than just having a salesperson, uh, trying to make you go solar. So this for the National Solar Tour, it's a really great way to ask questions and feel comfortable talking to your neighbors or someone from your town about their experience with going solar. And so that's why we're continuing the program. And although with a lot of people know what solar is and how that process works with going solar, we have expanded it to other different, sustainability features, electric vehicles, etc. So yeah, and these are just types of tours. And yeah, those are all different things. We don't really have any big rules or anything in terms of what can and can't be on the tour. It's just as long as it's sustainability or renewable energy related, like we are more than happy to help you get there to have a successful tour. We also have an app around the tour. It's new. This is our second year doing it. So if you just go to your Apple App Store or the Google Play Store and just type in National Solar Tour, you can take a look at all the in-person virtual tours that there is. And what I really like about the app, especially for the in-person tours, is that it'll connect with like your Apple Maps or Google Maps to then take you to the tour site with the address, etc. So that's something that we were really adamant about having that integration because it makes it really easy for folks to get to the tour and yeah, even contact the tour hosts, etc. This is basically what I just shared around the app features. And yeah, hopefully you all can either participate or host a tour if you're interested. Moving on is our Solar Today magazine. This is our flagship publication. We put this out on a quarterly basis, both in person and digital. It's written by experts from across our professional network, and we also invite you all to pitch an article. We have this section of the magazine each issue that's called the Young Professionals Corner. And so that can be anything related to your research paper or thesis, your your perspective on energy policy, for example, really anything that you wanted to share, especially if you are starting a student chapter, like any sort of projects you're doing. We only ask for a pitch around 600 words or so. And so if you are interested, please feel free to contact me or just editor@ases.org, and we'll get you started on hopefully getting you involved in the magazine. Okay, finally, ACES student chapters. So these are the benefits of being a part of the ACES student chapter, and then I'll go into how to actually create a student chapter at your university. But basically, as you can see at the very first, and sorry, there's so many words on the slide, but if you just go to aces.org/student chapters, you'll see all 14 student chapters that are a part of ACES so far, and we're hoping to expand that. If you are part of an ACES student chapter or in the leadership position, etc., you are eligible to apply for the Don Aitken Memorial Scholarship, and that is something that we put out twice a year. And it's a small application. It's just kind of describing your involvement as being an ACES student chapter member, what you're doing for them, and it's a $500 scholarship to help support you. yeah, let me know if you have any questions on the Memorial Scholarship. It all should be linked in this PowerPoint, so I'll be sure to share this with Remy for you all to review it if you want to. Um, we highlight you all in our Solar Today magazine on a quarterly basis. You're welcome to join us on our National Solar Conference. We have a specific chapter session for you all to present to our attendees about all the great things that you're doing at the conference. And we also provide one free registration for you all to join us at the conference. We're trying to make it as accessible as possible. And a lot of times your school will be help to fund accommodations and registration and additional fees that could take for you to get to the conference. But yeah, and we also have a monthly student chapter meeting that Samson runs. And actually, Samson, do you want to maybe talk through the monthly meetings to just kind of help provide mentorship and talk through student chapter opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, so I think the core agenda for those meetings are for internal discussions, right? For folks that join those meetings to discuss, what has been happening at their student chapters, and also just kind of talk about, solar as an industry trend and what's happening in the research realm as well. In addition to that, we also discuss other things, ACES related, and just basically try to get students involved, including, potential internship or mentor and things in that nature. So it's we definitely try to have those meeting and have those productive internal conversations.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Samson. Yeah, I really like these calls and the way Samson leads it. I think, it's great to meet other student chapters that are doing relatively similar things and to talk about what's going well, maybe what's not going so well, and how we can all help each other out. So, yeah, it's a great way to build community of like-minded folks across the US. So we try to make it as simple and easy as possible. I'll dive into just only 6 steps in order to create a student chapter at your university. Simple enough and more fun and creative is just choosing a name. A lot of cases, it's like, for example, the University of Colorado Student Chapter of American Solar Energy Society. I know there's the South Florida Solar Energy Association, for example. You can see all the different names at aces.org/student chapters. And then we just ask that you create a petition for at least 5 student ACES members to join. And to be a student member of ACES, you just go to aces.org/join, and it's as little as $12. And in a lot of cases, we can help provide a free membership, because we don't want that to be an issue with not creating a student chapter. So yeah, try to get some friends to join you, and also identify leaders. Like we have, the chair, the vice president, president, treasurer, etc. And then we ask that you have a faculty advisor. A lot of cases it's, either the environmental studies department or the mechanical engineering department. Any professor that is interested in being involved, that is great. And they also have to be a student, or sorry, they have to be a ACES member as well. And then not only do you need approval from ACES, that's on step 6, but also just getting institutional approval from your university. I think either if you're trying to create a club outside of being an ACES student chapter, I think this is pretty typical for universities, at least the university that I went to. You had to go to it was the student activity department. Yeah, so you'll probably have to talk to your faculty advisor to see what the next steps are for official approval, but it shouldn't be too hard. It's basically just providing a quick summary of what you're planning on doing and why you wanted to start a student chapter. And then to make it extra official, we ask that you draft just some quick bylaws. We have suggested templates for that, but basically it just shares when are you going to be meeting? What is your ultimate goal and mission of the student chapter/club that you're trying to create? And yeah, we try to make it as easy as possible so you can essentially copy and and paste and kind of reword the suggested template that we have on aces.org/student chapters. And then once you do that, you submit an application to ACES for approval. Samson's contact information is on that student chapters page. So that's just kind of the last step where once you gather all the materials and the signatures, etc., you go ahead and send it off to him, and us and the board will review the application and then decide on next steps. So yeah, that's about it. And then, although in addition to the Don A. K. Memorial Scholarship that all ACES student chapters can be involved in, we also have a couple other scholarships that specifically we definitely want to help support the ACES student chapter members. And so the John and Barbara Yellett Scholarship is also a $500 scholarship specifically to graduate students. And that they get celebrated at our conference each year. And then our Jedi Scholarship is for a free conference pass for you to join us at our next conference. And then our Jean Clark Memorial Scholarship is is a relatively new one that we just added in the last year, and that is a $1,000 scholarship, and specifically for grad students as well. And all of the information can be found on aces.org/scholarships, and we'll showcase the deadlines. And in a lot of cases, the eligibility is that you either have to be a part of the ACES student chapter, an ACES student member, or an ACES volunteer/intern. So I just wanted to highlight these because we definitely want you all to participate and or apply. But yeah, I know I kind of ran through all of that. Definitely happy to answer questions. And maybe before we do that, Samson, do you want to add anything that I missed in terms of student chapters or wanted to highlight anything in particular?
Nope, I thought you covered very well.
Great. Okay. Yeah, happy to answer questions and yeah, talk about student chapters, etc. Melissa.
Hi, Ella. Wait, can you hear me first and foremost?
Yes, I can hear
Okay,
you.
perfect. So it was really great. I want to hear more about, since like we're on the topic of student chapters, a little bit about like the projects and or like events that each individual student chapter hosts, whether they compete in any competitions or host any outreach events. I'd just love to hear more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll probably have Samson add more to this since he meets with them on a more regular basis. But yeah, it can be anything about, like, I know a lot of student chapters will do like recycling events or host a lot of different speaker opportunities. And that's something that we are able to help with. Like, we have a bunch of different connections all across the US. And, and we talk to your faculty advisor as well to ensure that we get the right speaker and theme of everything. But yeah, I would say the main thing that student chapters do is essentially educate your university about how to increase equitable solar adoption and spread our mission around just overall sustainable living and renewable energy in general. So yeah, that can mean like various events like lunch and learns and yeah, definitely like cleanup events and solar tours. I know the Western Colorado chapter works with the Habitat for Humanity and actually does like installations, which is really cool. And so we've had tours there, but that student chapter specifically will has their faculty advisor like that sorry, I'm not saying it right, that provides like workshops for like physical installation projects. So it's really anything related to solar that you can do. And that's why we have those monthly meetings, because it can really be anything that people are really interested in. But I would say that's the main ones that come to mind. But Samson, did you want to add anything there?
Yeah, well, I think also a big part is just to discuss like how do we find like job opportunity, right, during this time. I think that's a big part of the discussion that I'm always open to, not only share my experience, but also other people that's on the meeting. Usually I think that's a topic of discussion for sure.
And I believe, and I don't know, was just looking through the student chapter list and I realized that App State is on the list that has a student chapter, and I know they have won the Solar District Cup. So I wonder if it's done through their ACES chapter, because I know they're very involved in the Solar District Cup.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great. I didn't know about that. I mean, I knew that we had an ACES state chapter there, but I didn't know about the Solar
Yeah.
District Club. Cool.
Yeah. Good for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the idea of having the clubs participate in organizing local solar tours is a fantastic idea. I think that just sounds like something that the students could really get into, and they get to meet industry, and they also get to give back to the community, and maybe they could even show off their own campus. I know at JMU we've hosted the solar tour um, for our area, and we started at the university, so they get to see the university's installation, and then we go to like houses and things, businesses and things like that, and then we end up back at the university and have like a little cookout, so it's kind of fun.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I will just add, I just added the Brown University and the Western Colorado University student chapter tours. So definitely be sure to take a look at those. Yeah, they're doing really great things. And as Remy mentioned, it's really great to give back to the community that your university is in. I know for me, I'm from Boston, but I was living in upstate New York for school, and I've never lived up there before. And it was really cool to be in a different town in a totally different state, helping out the local community and just spreading awareness around renewables. And so, yeah, definitely be sure to take a look at those videos when you can.
Good question, Melissa. Anybody else have any questions? Maybe we could at least do a round of introductions and we could learn where universities everybody is at. So maybe we can help make connections.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Oh, I'll start off if that's okay.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm Melissa Perez. I'm a third-year engineering student at UCLA, or University of California, Los Angeles, for reference.
There is a student chapter at UCLA. They're the first on the list in there.
Let me, I will be bugging them this quarter. I start school in like a week. Don't tell me this information. They will be hearing from me.
That's
Good.
good. That's a good connection though, right there.
Yeah.
I can go after.
Natalie.
Hi everyone, hi Remy. Hi everyone, my name's Natalie. I'm at the University of California, Berkeley, and I already started. I'm currently taking a little break at work, but yes.
Awesome. Should I just start calling people out, Amari?
Okay, my name is Amare. I am actually from Ethiopia, East Africa. I am from Addis Ababa University. We don't have a chapter for IES in Ethiopia, but I'm actually very happy to join you last month for the conference. So it is going to be a good one to have, I mean, to be a member of this. I think I have a good experience on joining on professional membership. I used to serve the Ethiopian Electrical Engineering Society. I used to be the president, the vice president, and also the chair for the Ethiopian Electrical Engineering Society. It has been like 25 years since it has been formed. Now I think I am advising you for the young engineers to join the professional association. That is my advice. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Amari.
Thanks so much.
Stephen, you look like you want to talk.
Not particularly, but yeah, I'll jump in. Steve Johnson. I'm at UMass Lowell. I'm adjunct professor, and I teach the wind energy courses at UMass Lowell, and I also mentor the collegiate wind competition team for UMass Lowell.
Oh, great. Do you know this person named Zita? She's part of UMass Lowell. I'll find her last name. Yeah, she was part of this ACES student conference student symposium last year.
Okay, yeah, the name rings a bell. I don't think I know her, but I think I've seen her name associated with some things.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just put her last name in the chat. Nice.
Okay.
Tariku, do you want to say hi? Okay, we can't hear you. I don't know if that's an issue or if you, but we'll see if you can chime in and we'll move to Matt. Matt, do you want to say hi?
Sure. I'm Matt. I'm from GW or Washington, DC. And I guess I'm an environmental science student. Yeah.
I wish I'd known about you last year. We hosted our Solar 2024 conference at GW in May.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
I know. If you know who Scott Sklar he is a very part of the ACES, and he also hosts an amazing solar tour if you haven't been. It'll be in October. It's really cool.
Awesome. And Jennifer, you're the last on my list. Do you want to say hi? She may not be there. That's okay. Well, we have a nice array of students. The one thing that I'll also just throw out there as we're kind of, finishing up the discussion is that I really do think, and Amari kind of hit on this, is that it's very good in your career development to be a part of a professional affiliated organization, especially in a leadership role, and to actually start a student chapter at your school shows a great initiative that looks really good on your resume and is a great discussion during interviews. So I highly recommend Melissa, sorry, because you already have a chapter, but being very involved and participating also just is a great career development opportunity for all of you. So the other thing that so we have been talking about this at James Madison University, where I work, and we have a student organization called the Sustainable Innovations Club, and they were our collegiate wing competition team. But we haven't competed. We didn't compete last year, so the organization is waffling a bit. I don't think it has any leadership right now. And so the discussion, even within our faculty, has been it's easier to repurpose a current student organization with a new affiliation than it is to start from scratch trying to create a new student organization. So you all know at your universities and colleges that there's probably like a bazillion student orgs, and half of them are probably, defunct and not doing anything. So maybe working with your student activities people at the university to see if there is an organization already on the books that might have a similar mission but is not active, that maybe you could try to revive with an affiliation with ACES. Just something to think about, because sometimes creating a new organization has a lot of hoops to jump through. So it could shorten your timeline for getting something up and running. Jennifer, you're here. Do you want to say hi?
Hey, it's nice to see you again. Hi everyone. I'm Jennifer Peruggi. I'm a Farmingdale State College studying industrial technology / facility management, and my certificate is in wind turbine technology. But I'm a fan of all renewables and always happy to learn and engage with others in the renewable spaces. Actually, I guess I did have a question. I was wondering if this group has worked with in the past maybe native renewables or indigenized energy. Like, I was just wondering if there are like any like community or like outreach programs with like some of the indigenous communities potentially.
Yeah, we work very closely with Red Cloud Renewable over at the Pine Ridge Reservation. That is a little bit different from our student chapters. Basically, we had an EPA grant that was specifically working with Red Cloud Renewable and indigenized energy, deploying solar in both South Dakota and North Dakota tribes. However, that just got canceled due to funding. So we still have an incredible relationship with them and are definitely working on trying to find some private funding to do what we said we are going to do. But yeah, it's a sore subject, just given that it literally got canceled last week.
It's all around right now. Absolutely. I got to go to the Rise Gala though this summer, and
Oh, yeah.
you know, just being rooted together strongly in community. That's what we need right now. And despite all that's going on, you know, if we keep doing what we're doing, good things will happen.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
I just put in the chat our work with them. Like we just have a quick web page on it and a YouTube video. So feel free to take a look at that and all the things we did and hopefully we'll continue to do with some more funding.
Yeah, and on that note, if anybody's interested, the Rise Leadership Forum is happening in October in Atlanta. So that is also another great opportunity to just rub elbows with some amazing women in the industry. For those of you who like to participate in that. And I'm trying to get them to give me conference experience passes for all of you ladies in the future, but I haven't gotten there yet. So come back to me next year and we'll see about getting a student. Yeah, we want to do student chapters of Rise too. More of those. So also something to think about as you are thinking about student chapters and professional affiliations. ACES is amazing, and there's all the, you know, engineering ones, but Rise is also one that is open to student chapters. So if you have an active Rise chapter in your area, that could be another thing to think about, another angle to bring to your student club. They also have a great speakers bureau if you're looking for people to speak to your club, regardless of what the affiliation is. Awesome. Any other questions? Are you guys feeling energized? You're going to go back to Berkeley and go start a club there, Natalie?
We're here to support you.
Yes, yes. I mean, we'll see. We already started, so we'll see how everything goes. And if there's time, maybe.
Yeah, studies come first. Understood. Yes, Melissa, what's up?
One last question. I'm so sorry.
No,
And
please.
so, since Remy just mentioned like the Speakers Bureau and the W Rise, and I was wondering, like, is there any way that we could get? I know, like, I'm a part of the UCLA Wind Project, in which we compete in the CWC, and we always love to have speakers that are in the realm of just in general renewable energy, not only like exclusive to wind turbines. We're always like expanding into just like the general industry of renewables, and we're looking into solar actually. And so I was just wondering how I could potentially get in contact with you, so maybe you could have like any potential speakers or just any people like in the industry or just work that you guys have done. I'm sure like our team members would love to hear about like the outreach events that you guys have done and like about literally just right now what you were talking about, the like walkthroughs. That'd be really cool to like listen about and even potentially have us so have walkthrough as well.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. I know we actually are doing I'll be a speaker at the Oklahoma student chapter later this month. And although it'll be mainly virtual, I'm more than happy to, be the speaker or find people more local on your end because ACES is a connector and convener where we definitely have a lot of different contacts. So yeah, you're more than welcome to also join our monthly chapter calls, even if you're not officially part of the chapter just yet, just to kind of get an idea of it all. So yeah, we're always here to help and want to support you. So yeah, I'm so glad that you're interested and passionate about it.
Awesome. Yeah, don't forget to become a member. And then you get all the perks, right?
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat.
I say that. I don't even think I'm a member of ACES. I should really do that.
Yeah, well, you get a free one because you're a media partner. So I'll make a note and either renew you or yeah, we can
It's
talk.
all good. I have solar in my house. We should be on the tour, so I gotta get on that.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, you guys have been amazing. I really appreciate your time, and I will send a follow-up email to the full network with the link to the video, as well as copy you and Samson on that, so they have your direct contact if they have any questions. So you'll be able to be in touch with Ella and Samson as we go into the future. And just with that, I'll just share my screen real quick. I just wanted to remind everybody that we will have another call next month. It is going to be on October 15th. It's always the third Wednesday of the month. I do not have the speaker secured yet, but I have invited all of these folks on the screen. Obviously, we just heard from you guys at ACES, but we have some equipment donations coming from Pocket that we'd like to invite them to talk to you all about their equipment, and lots of other folks that could be real interesting to meet. So just keep your eyes peeled for an announcement on our social media. So make sure that you're following us on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or whatever platform you like to use. We will announce all those things, and then please feel free to go back to our YouTube channel and subscribe to that so that you also see anything new that we post there. And with that, I'll say thank you so much for being here, and I'll look forward to seeing many of you next month. And if you, feel free to email Ella or myself if you have any questions or anything that you are super excited about that we're leading up to in a couple of months, and we'll definitely keep you engaged.
Thank you so much, everyone. So nice meeting you. And thank you, Repowering Schools and Remy, for the opportunity.
Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate it.
Have a
Thank
good
you
one.
so
Thank you.
much.
Thank
Thank
you, Don.
you.
Thank you, Remy.
Bye.
Thank
Have a good
you.
one.
Bye.